Hello friends and welcome to another 3-minute Game Pass. I'm Nathan and today I'm going to tell you if this Game Pass game is worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Rage. It is here with their John Goodman wasteland car driving mutant shooting simulator with mega textures. Is this all the Rage? Rage is an Xbox 360 game, which means it doesn't have any significant upgrades overall. However, it does run 60 FPS on the 360, which I thought was worth noting. Kind of neat, and the game lasts about 11 to 15 hours. So what exactly is Rage? Well, it is a semi-open world first-person shooter with a side emphasis on car combat and racing, though the main meat of the game is its shooting. You play as a frozen superhuman who has awoken from your vault and launched out into the world of Mad Max, basically. You eventually join up with the Resistance to fight an overbearing authority that is trying to control the world. If this sounds a bit like Fallout and Borderlands had a child, you wouldn't be too far off. The main loop of the game involves doing missions, story or side, for people in various settlements to earn money to buy gun upgrades and continue the story. Additionally, you can run a plethora of races in towns to earn a different type of currency used to upgrade your car with guns, better speed, armor, so on and so forth. Your car is crucial as it's what gets you to each individual quest. Usually how the loop works is a quest giver gives you a quest, you then drive to the quest location in a semi-open world wasteland, blowing up bandit cars along the way. Once you arrive, you're taken to a new linear area where you engage in a lot of surprisingly solid first-person shooting until your mission is complete. You beat the mission, you get paid, buy guns and ammo, repeat. This is the core loop throughout the entire game, without any significant changes except some missions have bosses and others are more car-focused, also the aforementioned races. So what do I like about Rage? Well, this game is an absolute technical marvel. It still looks fantastic, especially with the updated resolution if you're running on a series machine. I really like the art direction for this game, the character designs, and the enemy animations. Oh my gosh, you shoot an enemy in the leg, they trip, you shoot them in the shoulder, they kind of flinch back, drop their weapon. It's surprising how detailed this game is, considering how old it is. Still impressive. Additionally, the shooting and the driving feel very solid. Shooting in particular is an absolute standout, where once you get an arsenal, the game feels like a classic id shooter. I really like the shooting in this game. And lastly, I found this game surprisingly addicting and engaging throughout, with the drive to earn more cash and get better guns, to do races, to improve my cars, so on and so forth. The loop worked for me. When it comes to the bad, mission variety is pretty dull, with most missions being the same thing. Go to place, shoot guys, come back. Repetition is this game's ultimate weakness. Additionally, nothing feels particularly fleshed out in great detail. While everything is solid, it doesn't feel in service to anything particularly impressive. This makes it kind of feel like an 11-hour tech demo. The awful ending in the game's story really exacerbates this problem. And lastly, it doesn't help that the world's actually pretty barren. When you're driving from one place to another, there's only a handful of cars and some random skill jumps, and I've driven the same canyon 47 times. Why do I have to drive the same canyon? It makes you wonder why the game had an open world at all if they didn't bother fleshing it out. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale. Must play, maybe consider, don't bother. This is a maybe consider, but I do think it's a hidden gem. It got a bit of flack on its release because it was a new IP from id, the literal creators of the modern FPS, and while it was completely fine, it didn't really do anything exceptional. Playing it today, however, I had a really great time with Rage. It was a fun game to pop in, do a few missions, engage in some absolute fantastic shooting, and then give it a break until the next day. It's a game that I feel could have jumped up to be an absolute classic with just a little more refinement. I don't know, maybe they also needed a little more John Romero, who was not with the company anymore, but it just barely doesn't reach greatness. But I do think it's still absolutely worth playing if you love solid FPS games or you just want to be blown away by how good a 360 game can look. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and go out there and enjoy Rage.